Good evening, race fans. Welcome back to round 5 of the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOval V8 Supercar Series, brought to you by Inside Lane Productions and Quasi Esports. Joining me tonight in the booth, we have James Watson. How are you tonight, James?
Oh, I'm doing good. Really curious to see how tonight's race is going to go.
Yeah, you and me both, but we'll see soon enough. Last week, Vegas, we saw Chris Bleakley go the distance for the first Enduro round with a close finish. Rick Vincent coming home in second and Tyler Stevenson finishing in third. But tonight we are at the iRacing Superspeedway for 75 fast laps of bump drafting. Who'll be Lightning McQueen come out on top? And who will cause the big one? So stay tuned and we'll find out. Tonight we got 65 kilometers, miles per hour. 75 laps here, we'll cover that. 65 miles per hour pit speed, or 105 kilometers there, and 60% fuel, as we have seen in the previous weeks. Tyres probably won't be a big thing tonight, but we'll see how that one pans out. Yeah, we'll run through our current top 10 standings as well, while the guys are just finishing up a bit of practice. So currently in P1 we have Craig Roffey, 148 points there. Got a tie for second now, Chris Bleakley after his win last week, and Adam Malone there with 133 points. Rick Vincent in fourth with 120. Christopher Finlay in 111 points in fifth. Gary Wellman in sixth. Scott McClintock seventh. Kate Donnelly eighth. Tied with Tony Roffey. And that doesn't seem right because those points don't look right. And Todd Maxfield in top 10. The guys are just going to make their way through qualifying now. So 5 minutes of qualifying, one lap is all it takes. James, what are your predictions tonight? And you coming in the booth with us, but you got any fan favourites or anyone you'd like to see up on the podium spots?
Well, that's the thing about a track like this. You can pretty much predict the unpredictable. You know, it's a completely different type of racing. It's basically, it's plate racing, pack racing at its fullest. You think of a race at Daytona and Talladega, well, this is it on steroids. You can go like 4 or 5 wide if you please at Talladega. Here you can go 6, 7, 8 wide. You can only do so much to hold off the runs behind you, and someone from 8th place coming off of turn 4 has a legitimate shot to win. Honestly, probably a better shot than those sitting in 1st and 2nd. So you can always kind of point to, say, the guys at the top of the table like Craig Roffey, but the thing about a track like this is anyone and anyone can win as long as you survive.
Yeah, definitely. Been caught in a few of those before, coming through on the fast draft charge from behind and trying to make those moves, and that gap that was there a moment ago just closes up and you get a bit squeezed and pinched, and then the all mayhem breaks loose. But for our viewers at home, the iRacing Superspeedway, so it's a fictional track which made its debut in 2021. So unlike your super speedways of Talladega or Daytona that are based on actual track, the iRacing Superspeedway is a virtual track. They designed the iRacing Superspeedway for the previous gen NASCARs to run without the restrictor plates, and that allowed drivers to push their cars beyond the limit and reaching impossible speeds with those drafts. But the track itself, 3 miles or 4.82 kilometers in length distance, and 30-degree banking. So quite a lot of banking on these turns too. So
Yeah,
guys, go.
this track is absolutely wild. You know, if you ever had like the Sizzlers cars, the motorized Hot Wheels from back in the day, this is basically just a big Sizzlers track that those particular toys would use. This track was popularized in NASCAR 2003, and iRacing decided to do us the big solid and put this in the sim for us to goof off with and do incredibly crazy ideas like putting V8 supercars on here, or the yearly event I hold in my league, which is multi-class of the Silver Crown, the IndyCar, the IR18, and the Indy Pro 2000. So this is basically just a one big sandbox for us iRacers to play with.
That sounds like fun, that one.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. It's, done a few 87s around here, and they're quite fun too. Almost hitting to 400 Ks in those things. So pretty quick, but the tyres do wear on those around here. So be interesting to see with the new gen V8 supercars how they go for tyres here tonight. Just wrapping up on our qualifying. So we've got 30 seconds to go there. Craig Roffey currently at the top, followed by Adam Malone and Tyler Stevenson there. So tied with Gary Wellman on time. So we'll see if anyone else can best that. But don't know. We'll see where Andy Barber here on screen comes home. It's a 18th finish for Andy there. So we'll go to a quick ad break, and then we will be back for the race grid.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Alrighty, welcome back everyone, and tuning in at home tonight for round 5 of the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOval V8 Supercar Series. So once again, the results are in, and we have our grid set. So Craig Roffey taking pole with Adam Malone on the front row. Row 2 goes to Tyler Stevenson and Gary Wellman. Row 3 to Chris Bleakley and Kim Roffey. Row 4 to Rick Vincent and Terry Marwood. Row 5 to Nicholas Walsh and Darren McKenzie.
All right, and taking the second half of the grid, it's Ryan M. Barber in the 05 and Tom Pritchard in 11th and 12th. Got Cave Donnelly and Todd Maxwell, not Todd Maxfield. I can read, I swear, starting in 13th, 14th. Shane Roffey and Tony Roffey, and all Roffey 8th row here, 15th and 16th. Shannon Wright and Andy J. Barber in 17th and 18th, row 9. Troy Mortensen and Scott McClintock in row 10. And Steve Hoppett on row 11. If I mispronounced any names, please send all hate mail to Kobe Jordan.
At Inside Lane Productions.
No, leave them out of it. Just send it to Kobe. It's fine.
Alrighty, well, we have some big gaps there. Hopefully everyone will close those up as they make their long way around the oval track. But tonight, 75 laps at iRacing Superspeedway. So we've got a few teams in here. You got Southern Stars, you got the Sim Boys, you got Rogue. So this is the night that the teams are definitely going to want to be working together, and we're going to see who's got the bump draft right tonight. But pace car's off, and we're about to go green as Craig Roffey takes us away. And good start there by Craig. Little jump there on Adam Malone, and we're going to see the field fan a little bit, but probably won't see the third line emerging yet, even though we a little bit further back, we saw a car trying to poke up the middle there. Adam Malone just slotting in, coming down.
Oh no, there's already a wreck. Oh my goodness. Wow, how did that not be any bigger? Oh my.
Looks like Adam Malone there, just coming down in front of Tyler Stevenson. Wasn't quite clear on the gap. Trying to slot in behind Craig Roffey. Just jump back for the replay. So we'll stay on the replay here and we'll just check out what happened there. Craig Roffey on the inside, Adam Malone on the outside. You got Tyler Stevenson and Gary Wellman there. Looks like Tyler Stevenson got a bit of a run on that inside as Adam was coming down. So I think maybe just a little bit of awareness there, and I'd just call that a racing incident. Play on, no harm, no foul there. But looks like everyone got out of that one fairly easily. Maybe Adam Malone coughed up his get out of jail free card on that one.
I'm just gobsmacked. Like right here, when I saw him kind of sliding back up the track, I thought that was going to be a lot bigger incident. When do you normally see a car kind of slide back up like that and no one else gets collected? That's I think everyone just gave up their get out of jail free card right there. And yeah, it's absolutely wild. Great way to start off the night.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we won't have too many more of those, but we like commentators' curses up in the booth here. So
in before only 3 cars finish.
We'll see if lap 2 goes any different, but it will, because we got the pace car out.
We could be sure there won't be any wrecks in this one, right?
Well, looks like a few guys opting to come down pit lane. So leader Craig Roffey coming in and Tyler Stevenson staying out. So Tyler Stevenson will take over the lead of this race. But a few drivers there taking that early pit stop. Looks like Adam Malone might have a little bit of damage on the front quarter there from that. So get that fixed in that stop. Hopefully that won't affect too much of his speed with the draft.
I'm really surprised Tyler Stevenson elected to stay out. You know, well, if I was him, I would want to come in and try to, maybe take a look, see if you got any damage from that incident, and also fuel mileage. Get that top off, get that extra fuel. Like we see it more often than not nowadays at pack races and super speedways. A lot of it comes down to fuel mileage and saving enough fuel, stretching out your stops, and trying to get to where you can take less fuel and have a faster stop at the end. So that's probably a couple liters of fuel that he's missing out on staying out. So it's a interesting strategy to say the least.
Yeah, well, I'd say with only one lap, like, they do have 60% load, so that's probably not going to help a great deal. They're going to burn through that fairly quick here, especially the guys out the front. But, yeah, it would be interesting to see. Definitely, might have had a few seconds of damage there. He could have got fixed. But we got some big jumpers there. Looks like Gary Wellman coming for another splash and dash with Cade Donnelly as well behind him. So they're just going to go for another top off.
Yeah, every little bit helps. You never know how these races are going to play out, and there's no worse feeling than sitting there seeing yourself being just that little bit short on fuel, just thinking to yourself, if I only just topped off that little more, might be winning the race here. You never know.
Quite possibly, and even just a drive through on the pit lane, even you get that little top off, but just dropping yourself from the middle of the pack to the back or even the front, you've got a backseat view of the race and what can potentially unfold in front of you, and you can take a bit more avoidance as well. So could be a little just a position hustle as well. But we will be going green this time around. Pace car lights are off, and we will be resuming the race for lap 5 of 75. Tyler Stevenson, our race leader now, and Terry Marwood on the outside. Shannon Wright in third with Steve Hoppett up in fourth, and Craig Roffey in fifth with Rick Vincent on the outside there. This time around, pace car will pull in. And mad swerve off the track. And we are green once again. Tyler Stevenson drops the hat and off he goes. Good jump there from Tyler. Terry Marwood, Shannon Wright following behind. A little bit of a gap behind the outside line there for Steve Hoppett. Looks like dropping back a little bit.
Yeah, that was it's a heck of a jump by Stevenson, and already that advantage is gone. Just like that, they're already caught back up.
Yeah, the draft, just like that. And you see the slingshot come out, and going to see teammates here helping now. Tyler just trying to go up a little bit, but obviously doesn't want to cut off that line and get in the way there. Try and use the side draft a little bit to keep his run going. You'll have Craig Roffey coming through, jumping up on that outside line as well. Tyler Stevenson left on that inside line by himself. Steve Hoppett making a third line on the outside.
Yeah, one is the loneliest number on the inside. He has absolutely no help. Now he gets the team cars in front of him.
Well, we know how that race is going to finish if that works out. You don't want to be sitting first on that inside line.
I don't even think you want to be sitting first on the outside line.
We'll probably see that 3 or 4 wide come for that final lap from the teams. But for now, we've got the inside line and a very broken outside line with cars all over the place. Steve Hoppett just slotting in there behind Shannon Wright into third. Got Todd Maxfield out the front on the inside. Steve Hoppett looking to go for a slingshot around the outside.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to gauge which line is the line you want to be in, you know, with this track being much more high speed and much wider. Oh, that's an aggressive move. It's lap 7, guys. Yeah, with how much more you have to work with, you it's going to be difficult to figure out where exactly you want to be. You know, we'll see a lot more ebb and flow with the energy and the lines breaking up and reforming. And in my experience here, it's also hard to get like a third line going because of how tall the banking is. You just kind of run out of steam for the most part when you get really high up the track. So even though you definitely have the room to do so, you might not actually have the momentum necessary.
Yeah, you got to really make that run down the back straight into turn 3 and hope that you got that momentum. You got Tom Pritchard sitting at the back there on that second line with Darren McKenzie. So with that gap to Tyler Stevenson, you sort of want to use that gap and the draft and the pace that pulls you through to get that good run up to get that third line started. Tyler Stevenson just washing out wide there. Everyone just settling in, and then we just watch everyone fan out again, coming around turn 1 and 2.
Man, who was that? The mid-pack running the Larson line for a minute there, right up next to the safer barrier. That's a new one.
That looked like Wellman back there, about halfway back in the pack. It looks like Steve Hoppett's just jumping out of this at the front. You got Todd Maxfield really using that side draft around the outside to try and jump to the front. Nice and close with Terry Marwood, so they're coming up as well. So you got to watch that. Got Shannon Wright hard on Terry Marwood's bumper, and that little rub the wrong way is just going to get the cars a little bit unsettled and push them up the track. So that outside line's just got to be careful of that one, of the guys on the inside pushing up on them. Be interesting to see how the engine temps go with the bump drafting in these cars as well tonight. So hopefully we won't get any blown motors sitting that close.
Yeah, I can't imagine those radiators are getting the air they need, especially like Tyler Stevenson, and he's right up there giving a shove. Yeah, I can't imagine the engine temp's going to be liking that. Oh
bit
boy.
of door contact there. Terry Marwood and Todd Maxfield. Nice and close. With that third line forming once again. That'll get shut down as the guys wash up wide from the second line. Can shut that third line down quite nicely on the back straight there.
I will say they had a much bigger head of steam than I was expecting. They really seemed to make that extreme third line work there pretty well. Oh dear.
Just on board there with Tyler Stevenson, just having a look from his front window. Looks like Todd Maxfield jumped to the lead though. Ooh.
What a save.
That
oh no, there's contact. Oh.
That was almost Tyler Stevenson in the wall.
And then almost Tyler Stevenson, innocent bystander. Oh, They really want that big one, don't they?
Well,
Don't take that out of context, folks watching at home.
12 laps in, we want to see the big one. We will go to a ad break, and hopefully we'll come back in a few laps, and we will maybe get a bit more on the fuel mileage and everything, and see when pit stops are going to be required.
And hopefully we don't see any wrecked race cars.
Don't go away.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back. Lap 18 of 75 at the iRacing Superspeedway. Round 5 of the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOval V8 Supercar Series, brought to you by Inside Lane Productions and Quasi Esports.
Oh no, there's smoke!
Looks like we are back just in time.
Oh no, right around. Oh,
there's
it's not the
bumpers
big one.
flying. We came back for the big one. We got it. We are going to have to go to a replay on that one and see what happened. Looks like Shannon Wright maybe, or Terry Marwood out front there. And the other driver behind. Todd Maxfield in behind there. A bit of bumping going on there. Shannon Wright. I think that was Shannon Wright that went up high there. Todd Maxfield through. So I think we're next laps when the caution come out.
Yeah, I think coming into 3 and 4 now is when we're gonna see it.
There you go. Todd Maxfield
squeezes.
On the back of Terry Marwood.
Yeah, it just kind of squeezed the 60. Oh, it had it saved, gets clipped at the front. Oh, the 92 just nowhere to go and just plasters the front of that Everything Simulated car. Man, I was just thinking that the Everything Simulated guys were doing a masterful job just controlling this race and locking it down, and then that happens. Does it count as a commentator's curse if you think it rather than saying it? Yes? No? That's fair.
Well, I don't know. I think if you think it's voodoo and it's just going to happen anyway. But we got word word that Chris Bleakley and Tony Roffey, I think, very hungry, and they just stopped into pit lane for some meatballs. So they're filling their bellies while they're in pit lane. But yeah, looking at that crash, it looked like maybe the second impact was a little bit of netcode almost on, I think it was Shane Roffey's car. So it'll be interesting to see if Shane got any damage on that. And then the next car through was Chris Bleakley to hit on that Everything Simulated car. So that's probably where the meatball might have come from. But don't know if there's incident points, I should say, occurring from maybe bump drafting too hard. But looks like Terry Marwood has parked that car for the night as well. So that will give us some new race leaders, and Shannon Wright's going to have a hard job now at the front on his own. But, we'll see where everything settles down as everyone comes out of pit lane and made their stops and through these pace laps. If anyone just ducks in again for that top off. Looks like Todd Maxfield didn't quite beat the pace car out of pit lane either. So I think he's going to go down a lap here. We'll have to see how that one plays out. He's probably going to have to let the field by. Looks like he's going to do that. It's a little bit unfortunate there. He'll be hoping for a lucky dog to happen through the race then. So we couldn't really get any numbers there on a green flag stop. So we might have to see if we can bring someone in the booth while we're under caution. And I believe we got some scoring updates as well. So for everyone at home, we got Troy Mortensen up in the booth. Troy, how you going?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Oh yeah, not bad, not bad. How's the race going?
Yeah, it was going good, but I just got tagged up and got tagged. Well, I tagged somebody in the in that, so I got a bit of damage. But yeah, apart from that, still driving.
Yeah, looks like you got a bit of damage on the front there. Looks like we're actually under green again. So, quick chat with you if you don't mind, if that's all good under green. Otherwise, we'll let you go.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just cruising at the back here. So,
that's all right. What's the fuel like on laps to a tank?
I can tell you, about 20 odd laps. I think about 21 laps to the tank. So, yeah.
So we were pretty much almost due for a green flag pit stop then.
Yeah, I think I had about 6 or 7 laps before that yellow came out. So
yeah, that would have been the top ups from the first caution on lap 1.
Yep. Yeah, I filled up then, but I only had whatever that was, 1 lap, so lap of fuel.
Alrighty.
Well, we could do another yellow because I got about a minute and a half of damage still, and I'm falling off the pack here out of the draft. So I think my car's a bit cactus.
Well, you might make a few spots up with black flags happening here. So Todd Maxfield, Tony Roffey, Scott McClintock, all with black flags.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think the 16 lit the field by like he was supposed to. I think that's where he got his black flag from. Because I was watching him come off of pit road, and I'm like, that Mustang is still staying a long ways away in front of the pace car.
That's interesting. We could go another yellow, just so I can get my repairs fixed, because I'm not going very fast at all. Sitting on about 290k, so. And I'm losing.
What was the top speed?
Well, I was actually lifting because I was on the limiter when I was in the pack before that incident. So I think I was getting 300 and something.
So a bit of limiter bashing on the straights, eh?
Yeah, it's okay when you're by yourself, like I am, because I'm just holding it flat. But yeah, in the pack, I was giving it a slight little lift just to get it off the limiter. Because knowing my luck, it would have blown the engine. So
yeah, we don't want that. So hopefully you can keep circulating. And looking at the front of the pack here, we're going 3 wide. So we got Kim
might
Roffey,
be getting your wish here,
and Steve Hoppert. So
no, I like this track. It's nice and wide. So before that incident came out, we were sort of running in 3 wides there for a bit, and you could just about go 4 wide, even 5 wide. So
yeah, you
make it 6
can.
wide for the memes.
Yeah.
I have damage, Gary, if you want to try and get by.
Single file wide. That would be interesting. Just everyone lined up. But, I believe you got some updates for us, Troy.
Yeah, the cricket.
Yeah.
I think New Zealand are batting, and hang on, let me get my crew chief out of the way so I can see the score. 82 for 3 at the moment, off Look, I'm multitasking here. 82 for 3 or 14.1 overs.
Oh, just
So,
don't multitask putting yourself in the wall and bringing out your own yellow flag. So
no, I don't really want to do that. But no, so hopefully the Black Caps do one over on these cheats. But we'll I've got other words for it, but I won't say that. But yeah, hopefully it's going to be a good game anyway.
we'll find out as the night goes and as the race goes too. But we'll let you get back and
Too easy, boys.
make sure Tyler's not too lonely without you.
Oh no, probably got a bit of peace actually. Sorry, Tyler. I know you're listening to this. No.
Well, Tyler is up in second, given the push on Shannon Wright now. So
Yep.
Shannon Wright needs some friends now that Terry Marwood is gone.
Yep.
They can work together. But
Yeah.
Kate
I'm not
Donnelly on the
losing-
outside.
I'm not losing these 3 cars in front of me, so hopefully I can just stay with these guys and yeah, not lose the pack too much. But
Alright.
now we got Steve talking, so I don't know who talks the most.
All right, no worries. Well, we'll let you go, Troy. Thanks for dropping in.
No worries. We'll let you know next time what the score is in the cricket.
Alrighty, we'll do. We'll drag you back in 2 laps.
No worries, boys. Cheers.
Thanks, Troy. But we now have Kate Donnelly and Nicholas Walsh as our race leaders. Sim Boys out the front. Tyler Stevenson third, with Rick Vincent in fourth, Shannon Wright in fifth. So just while we were having a bit of a chat there, looked like things got a bit loose out the front there, and everyone dropped out of that.
Yeah, we actually have a single file train here going. Tyler, after being free of the everything simulated boys, now he's got the Sim Boys in front of him. Goes
Well-
from one team to another.
Well, I'll have to drop in your DMs later about what we call the Sim Boys, because it's not air appropriate. But we'll get you up to speed on that meme for you.
Beautiful.
We are now lap 28 of 75. So as Troy mentioned, he could. Well, I think we were coming up to about 21, 22 when that caution happened, and had maybe 6 odd laps left. So from green flag from lap 5 to 20, and then another 6 odd. So yeah, you could probably make around that 21, 22 laps maybe on a tank. So with this caution done, I didn't quite catch when we went green on the lap counter. I think it was around maybe 24. So if we can get a green flag run, we might be looking almost half, or just over halfway on this race. About lap 40 to 45, maybe looking at green flag stops if we can get there. Like Nicholas Walsh is now taking the lead. Kate Donnelly just dropping back a little bit on that outside line. Nicholas Walsh will lead a lap. Tyler Stevenson giving Nicholas a push. So Tyler's been doing a lot of pushing tonight. So hopefully the front bar of that car is still in one piece.
I tell you, what's going to be fascinating to me as we get more to the closing stages of this race is corner entry, because corner entry, actually turning down in the corner, it's really strange here. You kind of like drop down into the corner, kind of like how you feel at Dover when you're entering the corner, but about times to the 100th power. And so because of that, you kind of have to turn, to me at least, you kind of have to turn a little earlier to make sure that you're factoring in, because if you don't, you just slide up so easily. So it's really hard to keep a steady line when you're side by side someone entering the corner because of that. If you're not on top of when you turn in, you can slide up, and that could easily be the big one that ends everyone's race in the last few laps.
Yeah, it's definitely easy to turn in, drop below that yellow line, and when you come back onto the track, you get that wash up, pushing up a little bit too high and into that second line sometimes.
Yeah, like, see, look how much the suspension drops when you go into the corner.
Oh!
Oh, what a save! Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
No, that was some driving there by Tyler Stevenson. We'll check out the replay on that one.
Tyler with the save of the year.
Just getting into Shannon right there in the door. And straight on the brakes. Big smoke lock up and managed to keep that car pointing straight. So look at that wheel movement there. Double 180 lock, side to side.
Like, he had the death wobble and everything and lives to tail the tail.
Definitely, that will drop him off the pace a bit. So just a bit of a gap now to Andy Barber, but he's got two Andy Barber, Ryan Barber there in front of him. That's just dropped off from Tom Pritchard. So a little bit of a gap between the lead field here for the top 9 cars. Ryan and Andy should pick up on the back of Tom if they get that right, which looks like they have. And you got all the Southern Stars cars there in a line. So you got D-Mac, Malone, Pritchard, and the two Barbers, father and son duo. So they are all linked up quite nicely at the back of this lead pack here. So they're probably just going to bide their time. They've got all the cars there. And as we make our way towards that halfway mark, so they're just going to chill. And when the time's right, we're going to watch all those guys pounce on this race, I reckon.
Yeah, pack races always seem to turn out one of two ways. They could either be calamity-filled dumpster fires or kind of calm, collected, fuel-saving trains where you're not focused on it making any moves. You're just focused on chilling, saving as much fuel as you can, and taking advantage of that, like I mentioned earlier, being able to either stretch it longer and maybe cut out an extra stop depending on how things shake out, or just have a little more fuel remaining in the tank so when you make that final stop, you're not stationary for as long and you can just rocket up to the front, getting that precious track position for the closing laps. It started out kind of on the calamity-filled train, and now we're in that fuel mileage race. Everyone just cruising and saving as much petrol as they can.
Well, we got Steve Hoppert out front now. So Steve's finally taken over the lead of this race after hanging out on that outside line for most of it. So Steve doing quite a good job tonight. Stayed out of trouble from everything, and he's at the front of this race now. And he come from the rear of the field too. So biggest move, started out of last on the starting grid, and he's at the front now. So that's always one way to start a super speedway is, just chilling at the back and let everything unfold. But sometimes that can get you unstuck as well if you can't avoid a wreck in front of you. There's two ways to be in a super speedway. either at the front or right at the back.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be in the no man's land of the midfield and having to dodge the carbon fiber.
But it looks like Tyler Stevenson now just on the front cam looking over the hood there. So he's managed to catch back up into the pack here. Got Scott McClintock there on the outside. There's going to be a bit of a brake check up here. Not quite able to make a run. We've got Wellman coming through the middle there as well on him. So Wellman comes straight through the middle and looking for a bit of a run down the outside there.
I gotta say, that's some impressive stuff by the 98, though, to pull him and that second pack back up to the tail of the lead pack. Now, obviously, you can tell that, you can really tell now that everyone's fuel saving, but regardless, that's unbelievably impressive. The one good thing about here is that because of the size of this track, the hole that's punched in the air from the cars seems to be bigger. You have a lot greater distance for draft. You know, it seems like maybe 1.5 seconds or so is like the cutoff point at like Daytona or Talladega. Here, at times, it feels like 2.5, maybe even 3 seconds, depending on the cars you're driving. So Tyler was able to take advantage of all of those scenarios, as well as his speed, and just get himself right back up into this lead fray.
Now you just saw that giving Wellman a push right from the back of this pack into the front. So 2-car push pretty much, and using the rear bumper of Shannon Wright to get a draft from the front of the pack. And they pretty much caught all the way up there. Wellman just opting to choose to slot in behind Steve Hoppert now on the inside line. But, as Troy said earlier when we had Troy Mortensen in the booth, that was actually on the limit. So that could have been a bit of help there, maybe with some of the pack on limit going down the straight. It might have just helped to give that extra speed to Tyler Stevenson to come through as well. But Steve Hoppert going through pit lane at lap 39. So don't know if we've got the last pitted laps there. If we can bring that up, we'll see how many laps Steve managed. So 19. So we're getting to that 20 lap point. Around lap 40. So we'll see if we go 40 to 45. See who can punch out those couple of extra laps. And doesn't look like anyone's taken the pit road this time around for lap 40. Shannon Wright on the outside there, getting a good run on the outside. Steve Hoppert just coming out of pit lane. So unfortunately, Steve's going to be by himself, and he's going to have a bit of work to do to catch up, just missing the back of the train there.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, I think Steve stayed out under the yellow. So I think he just had a lot less fuel on board than everyone else that came in under that stop. So I think we probably won't see anyone else up in this lead pack pit for, well, probably another 5-6 laps or so. I'm probably a little... Okay, and I'm proven wrong immediately. Wow.
Well, that caution that Steve stayed out was lap 1, so we've had a second caution since then, which I think Steve would have pitted on. So I don't think Steve could have gone from the start of the race to lap 40 or lap 39 on a whole tank. I don't think that would be doable, especially on a super speedway at 60% fuel load. So we'll see. I reckon there'll be a couple of drivers blink this time, maybe a couple of drivers go next lap. So we'll be looking at these pit stops happening right now.
Yeah, you're right on that, Paul. That's my mistake. I'm just gonna go ahead and blame it being 6:30 in the morning for that poor display of mathematics.
That's all right. So it looks like Rogue Boys are coming through pit lane. Southern Stars are staying out to run that extra lap. So they've been at the back of that lead pack, saving that fuel. And they'll be able to get a good run in with those cars now to try and maybe make up a little bit of time. But we're still going to have to do another pit stop to get home, I'd say. So it will be a numbers game on that last stop, though. How much fuel is needed to get home? And the shorter the stop, the more time they're going to save. Kyle Stevenson. It looks like everyone coming in pit lane this time. Nicholas Walsh, quite a slow entry there, almost getting run over by Adam Malone. But, good manoeuvring there, and everyone getting out of that. Maybe Adam Malone found the other get out of free jail card from the community chest this time. So we'll see where everyone comes out. You got Kate Donnelly, Kim Roffey, Craig Roffey there leaving pit lane. Southern Stars still sitting in pit lane, just dropped now. So D-Mac, Tom Pritchard leaving, Adam Malone still sitting in pit lane, so hasn't left yet. So they're going to be broken up now. Tyler Stevenson, he just appeared suddenly in front of D-Mac there. Out of pit exit. Gary Wellman, our race leader, that's just going to get jumped by Rick Vincent. So Wellman going to jump on the back of Rick, and then you got Kay Donnelly, Kim Roffey, Craig Roffey coming up. So they'll close that gap pretty quickly, and then you'll have everyone else slot in behind.
What I always love when you get green flag pit stops, because it always jumbles up the field so significantly. And seeing everyone who absolutely nails their pit in, stop, and exit, and then you have the ones that don't and are just a mile off the lead pag and just praying for that caution.
Yeah, well, as we go back through the field, we got some gaps there to the field. So we got Chris Bleakley there with, I think, Shane Roffey and Andy Barber there. Just trying to catch up on the back of Tom Pritchard, D-Mac. Steve Hoppett there, who was the first to jump. And Adam Malone. So Adam Malone probably the biggest loss out of that pit stop, I'd say. So that's a very average looking front car on screen there. I think that might be, don't get me wrong, but I think that's Tony Roffey, yep. There's definitely going to be no draft on that car.
Yeah, wasn't that bumper we saw flying at the the big wreck off of turn 4 for the last caution?
I think you might be right. The one that went flying in the camera. So
Yeah.
definitely a lot of pace in that car from Tyler Stevenson too. Just catching up on that back bumper there by himself almost. So into Craig Roffey. So going to have a group forming at the front. So Rick Vincent, Gary Wellman unable to run off. So we've got Cade Donnelly, Kim Roffey, Craig Roffey, and Tyler Stevenson now joining the lead to make a bigger pack at the front. Then from Tyler, we go back to Darren McKenzie and Tom Pritchard. We've got Shannon Wright just hanging on the outside there by himself. Generally, we see in super speedways you get the lone wolf trying to slow down packs and trying to get to the front of a pack to catch up, but sometimes it can hinder, sometimes it can work. Kyle Stevenson looking like he wants to lead this race, so he's made that move to the front. He's running that outside line right up against the wall, dropping down on the inside now on the corner. Looks like he had some pretty good pace running on that wall right up on the side there. Didn't even look like the pack behind him was gaining at all.
Yeah, it looked like the lead pack just got held up by the damaged car, and Tyler just was able to take full advantage of it, just rocket up to the front.
Yeah, well, Tony Roffey was is Rick Vincent's teammate there, so he should have had a little bit more comms on the chat there, and maybe driver awareness to get that car out the way to come through, but is what it is. So pretty much two main groups formed through this race, and then got a couple of cars just straggling off the back. So going to be a few that are hanging out for a caution. It's all fine-tuned in once again, and so if you bear with us for a moment. Looks like we have Kim Roffey out the front now. So Kim Roffey's made the way to the front with Rick Vincent and Craig Roffey. So Rogue drivers at the front, followed by Wellman and Donnelly for our top five, the Simboys. Tyler Stevenson back in sixth. Tony Roffey just hanging on with that broken car on the back of this pack. Tony's 2 laps down, but seems to be just hanging on to the draft there. So that second pack is slowly catching up as well, though. D-Mac leading that pack. Like Shannon Wright again on the outside, wanted to make that run up on the outside by himself. Going to make that almost work coming into 1 and 2. couldn't quite get the job done. Looks like that side draft works quite well back there. Now you can see the cars just off the back there in camera view from Tony Roffey. So it won't be long before they catch up to the lead pack.
Yeah, I think the lead pack is right now in just chill and ride it out mode. And poor Tyler Stevenson, that before he was having to deal with just one team at a time. Now he's going up against two with 3 road cars and 2 sim boys. And a 4th road car right behind him.
Well, I don't know if this is because of the technical difficulties, but it's showing a white flag, so I don't know if that's because of the overlay. We'll get that. We are green flag racing. So I'd hate to say we're white flag when we still got 20 odd laps to go. With that coming up to lap 55 of 75 and looking at that 20 lap mark. So be interesting to see if anyone's going to take the early jump or if anyone's just going to run the fuel out and then take that stop. So smart thing would be run it out. Then that way, if there is a caution in the last few laps, at least you do have that extra fuel in the tank.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. I would run it out, make sure you're taking well advantage of that being on the lower fuel, and then that way when you only have a few laps left, you're not having to take as much fuel, and you're hopefully not only a lot faster than the cars you're racing around right now, but you can kind of stretch that gap having less time spent on pit road.
Yeah, for sure. Less time stopped means less time lost. So we'll see that happen again, probably predicting in the next sort of maybe 3 to 4 laps, I'd say. Maybe 5 if we can get there. It looks like Tony Roffey now just dropped out of the way as the second pack's caught up. So they've closed that gap up, and DMAC now on the charge, catching up to Tyler Stevenson there. Doesn't look like they're going to go for a run, but once again, Shannon Wright trying to make that outside line work for himself. Definitely needs a friend to come with him. Maybe Tyler Stevenson there can pop out and get that run back to the front as we've seen earlier tonight. Kim Roffey still leading the way here with Rick Vincent and Craig Roffey. That outside line still coming with Shannon Wright. So he's managed to work his way up to 4th now on his own. Left the pack a little bit broken behind Kay Donnelly there, but they'll get that run back. Looks like Tyler Stevenson on that outside line as well, but kind of probably left that a little bit late, but the draft will suck him back up to the front there.
Yeah, right, saying, heck with your fuel save, I'm going to the front.
They don't really need to save fuel when everyone's flat out, and it'll be interesting the flurry of pit lane who gets tangled up, or if anyone can avoid that as well. There you go, Tyler Stevenson right back there at the front with Shannon Wright. Big push on that outside line. Use that side draft. Inside line. Not quite bumper to bumper, so that'll let Shannon drop in with that push. That leaves Tyler out on his own, so we'll see if Tyler can get that run. Tyler and Shannon are going to have to work together as lone drivers now, so they're going to need some teammates. And Tyler looking once again that right up on that wall, using the side draft on that wall to get a nice run to drop in, but Shannon really using that inside to come around. A little bit of a secret there with that wall, I think.
Was just taken aback by what I saw entering turn 1. Tyler took the lead, and Wright said, "You ain't taking anything," and just dove right back underneath and took it back.
Definitely, and there's that big move to the wall. So let's have a look at this pace with that draft from the wall. And look at this. That's going to give Tyler a big run. So...
Oh my goodness. Big wreck in the back.
Bit of carnage.
It's Steve.
Background. Steve Hoppett. So stopped on track. Would think would be going yellow, and there it is. Now we'll just have a look at what happened there. Go back to our replay.
Oh.
Ooh.
Huh?
That looks like a bit of mechanical failure there. The steering wheel just snapped to the right, and he just had nowhere to go but the wall. So I'd say something happened to Steve's wheel there. We'll just catch an onboard view of this.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, and you can tell too because... Yeah, and he just keeps going, like, full equipment failure.
That's a bit unfortunate there for Steve. Hopefully he's all right in the sim rig and no thumbs broken. But that will kill our green flag pit stop there. So we'll see everyone come through pit lane this time. We'll go to a quick ad break while everyone transitions pits, and we'll come back for the rest of this race.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Alrighty, we are back and we are under caution. So round 5 of the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOval V8 Supercar Series, brought to you tonight on Inside Lane Productions and Quasi Esports. Kobe Jordan behind these scenes, working hard tonight for his money. And in the booth, we have James and myself, Paul. So 14 laps to go, and it's going to be a fast 14 laps, just under a minute a lap. So we will be flat out unless we have another caution.
Yeah, this race is going to be absolutely wild now. You know, we're going to have, I believe, probably around, I think we're going green this lap. So, or at the end of this lap. So 12 laps of just going flat to the floor, no worried about fuel. Things are going to get crazy.
Yeah, definitely. And hopefully the grid will sort itself out and we won't have any black flags this time. So hate to see anyone cop a black flag and have to have a penalty drive through or stop with this few laps to go. We still got 16 cars on the lead lap, with Troy Mortensen being the first a lap down, 1 lap down, and then we've got a couple of guys 2 laps down, Todd Maxfield, Tony Roffey and Steve Hoppert. But pace car lights are out this time round, and we'll have Tyler Stevenson on the inside and Craig Roffey on the outside to lead us away. We come out of turn 4. Pace car is going to pull in and got to close up those gaps there. Tyler's not going to want to jump too early. He's going to want to take that green flag. And off they go. You got Wellman on the inside behind Tyler. And Kim Roffey on the outside. Craig Roffey darting in, followed by Kim. So just slotting in, that outside line's already fizzled out. So Cade Donnelly back is going to drop in as well, which he does. So we're going to see a little bit of this now, I think, from Tyler moving to that outside wall, trying to shut off a big run if anyone can, as he looks for a block. Looks for that block on Wellman. Wellman just giving him a little tap in the rear, saying he's here. So I think maybe that move should come on the last lap here. Use that outside wall. Don't give that secret away if anyone else hasn't been watching that. Shannon Wright giving Tyler a big push on the outside line. So once again, those two guys will be wanting to work together. With a third line forming right in the middle there. So Rick Vincent meet in the middle. We come around this time, will be 10 to go. Might jump on board. I don't think we've done a full lap here of the iRacing Superspeedway, so we'll jump on board here with 10 to go and grab someone in the middle there. I reckon that's Wellman on board as we jump back a car. So I think now we're on Craig Roffey's there. It's been a long day.
A little bit of a side draft there.
for a sec. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
No, I thought my mic just cut out there. No. Everyone's having technical difficulties tonight. I had the USB pop-up warning, so if we're good, we'll keep going. And that's our lap around iRacing Superspeedway. So I didn't really get to check there, but it looks like 191 miles per hour, maybe top speed. So convert that in the background, and you know, as Troy said earlier, around the 300, just over 300 Ks. But we have Southern Stars making the moves in the middle now. Got Adam Malone, and I think that's Tom Pritchard, Ryan Barber, Darren McKenzie there in the middle. So they're all linked up. Andy Barber just squeezed on the inside line there. Chris Bleakley in the middle, back there. So Andy will be looking for a way to move.
Oh, here we go. 4 wide. Now the insanity really begins. Oh, and there's a blink. Oh, that's what you want to see. Adam Malone just blinked out for about a quarter of a straightaway.
Okay, just dropping back out of that from that fourth line. So just slotting in the back there on the third.
Probably not the worst decision.
Giving a push to Junior there, Ryan Barber. So Ryan's got Shannon Wright on the front there. I reckon Ryan will probably want to make that fourth line work if he can, and see if Cade goes with him. Try and get that run around and get to the front of Adam and get a big push. Try and drag his teammates through. But in saying that, now you got Wellman behind Adam Malone. So once again, the teams are a bit broken up here. So drivers are going to be relying on pretty much whoever's around them, whoever's behind them, to try and get the job done tonight.
That's an awful lot of blinks for that 3 car. It's terrifying if you're for the 45. If you're anywhere around in this lead pack, oh, what a move by Stevenson.
Yeah, it looked like Craig Roffey was just trying to sneak through on that inside there and maybe pin those guys up high, but quick drop there from Tyler. Shut that off as we're 4 wide. Looks like Andy Barber on the squeeze through, and this is not going to end
there's
well.
The wreck.
There's our yellow once again. Let's catch the replay on that one. Bit of a squeeze through from Andy Barber. Adam Malone giving the push down on his teammate into Tyler. And Tyler coming off pretty good on that one, I think, for Tyler. Or is he going to...
That was
he went
net
through
code.
Wellman. Yeah, I think Cade Donnelly come off pretty good on that. Net coded through Tyler, and copping the damage from Wellman. So going to be a bit of damage on Tyler's car there. Front row seat here from Cade Donnelly's race car. Tried to avoid it and just kind of deflected off it almost.
Netcode gods looking down.
We might have to see how much damage Tyler's got there. I don't know if we can drag him up under a quick yellow and have a quick chat.
That's some significant looking right front damage right there.
Looks like Kim Roffey and Steve Holt's got a meatball. I don't know if Steve's still circulating. Must be. We're going to pull up none other than Tyler Stevenson. As I said. Tyler, you got a copy?
Hey, I can hear you
Right. It's just Paul in the booth here. So, how much damage you got out of that one this time?
guys. I hope it's minimal. Steering feels good, so it might be a little bit on the front end, but we're gonna come down, get it serviced up, and try to make a Hail Mary run to the front. We got the car to do it. Hopefully this doesn't affect us too much.
Yeah,
We're just gonna try our best here.
Yeah, it looked like you got a lot of pace in that car, and we've seen that week in, week out. So, got a quick car under you, and yeah, you had a little bit of a strategy going there. I won't give that away, but we've already talked about it tonight on broadcast. But we'll see if that can help you out towards the finish.
Yeah. All right. Well, official time is a minute of damage, so that should be able to get all fixed with how big this truck is.
Yeah, I'd say you'd be pretty close to getting a minute fixed around here when it's a minute lap.
Yeah.
So at this pace, you should be pretty close to getting all that fixed.
Yeah.
Hopefully-
I think we should be fine. I mean, it's
Hopefully
just
the-
gonna be. Hopefully, we get through the next big wreck that's gonna happen. That's gonna be about it. But it'll be a quick dash, and it's just gonna be, can you make it through the wreck? But
yeah.
we'll see where we finish here at the end of this.
Well, that's the question. So we'll have a couple of laps to go, but we'll get you back in your chat with Troy because he'll be missing you this time around. So
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
chuck you back up there and
Yeah.
we'll let you get on with it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. That was Tyler. So hopefully, yeah, he's got the car to do it or had the car to do it. But we'll see with that little bit of damage now that he sustained if he's still got the car to do the job.
Honestly, the right front looks pretty well immaculate, I want to say. I think he might have gotten... I doubt everything got fixed, but that car doesn't look all that bad now compared to what it was.
Hopefully that right front will be pretty good because of that strategy that he was using. But hopefully that'll help as well. But with that damage on that front, it could hinder him a little bit. Looks like pace car lights are out this time. We are just coming around onto the back straight, so still got a little ways to go before we go green, and we will have 2 laps this time of green flag racing. Hopefully we don't get the yellow come out with 1 to go, but chuck a green white checker in there. But we'll see what happens this time around. Rick Vincent will be taking us to green with Shannon Wright on the outside. Craig Roffey on the inside behind Rick Vincent. So teammates there. Then you've got Ryan Barber, Darren McKenzie, Andy Barber and Tom Pritchard are there, all lined up ready. So they're going to be looking to form that third line, I reckon. All of them just swing out to the right to make that third line happen and drive around Rick Vincent and Craig Roffey. So be interesting to see what happens here. You also got Kay Donnelly, Nicholas Walsh and Gary Wellman just on the back of there as well. But we are about to go green and all our predictions are probably not going to come true. Green and Rick Vincent takes us away with 2 laps to go. Already got that third line happening. Kim Roffey and Adam Malone up on that third line. We will sit back and see what's going to happen. Ryan Barber giving the push to Shannon, but Tom now pushing on Ryan. So here comes that third line. Looks like they're going to make a fourth line. Kim Roffey. We are going
there's
4 wide.
It's a big squeeze right up there.
And Ryan Barber just dropping in there. He's going to pop back out in front of Tom. And Tyler Stevenson trying to make his way through. Shannon Wright stuck in the middle there by himself. Tyler Stevenson coming up, but from a ways back. We are white flag this time round. Rick Vincent up high. Not sure where our camera's gone, but we are there. Rick Vincent
The
up
94.
high. Oh, he's coming down, Craig. Darren McKenzie on the inside. Andy Barber.
They're
getting doored. We're 4 wide.
They hold it. Oh my.
We are going 4 wide, still down the back straight.
This is wild.
Darren McKenzie, Shannon Wright, Craig Roffey, Rick Vincent, all at the front of their lines. And
they're wrecking behind. They're wrecking up for the lead.
We are. Oh, can he do it? I'm not sure. Ooh, bit of a door there. I think Craig Roffey might have just. No, Chris Bleakley sneaks through with a win again. I think Chris Bleakley was just on the line last week at Vegas, and he's somehow managed to do it again, stealing a win. So we'll wait for the official results to come in, but looks like Chris Bleakley, Craig Roffey. There we are. Chris Bleakley, Craig Roffey, Shane Roffey, your top 3 podium. Tom Pritchard, Nicholas Walsh, Gary Wellman, Kate Donnelly, Troy Mortensen, Rick Vincent, and Scott McClintock, your top 10.
And then P11 got the Kim Roffey, Adam Malone in 12th, Ryan Barber 13th, Darren McKenzie 14th, Shannon Wright 15th, Andy J. Barber in 16th, Tyler Stevenson in 17th. Such a great run, just getting involved in the last lap melee. Todd Maxfield in 18th, Tony Roffey in 19th, and Steve Hoppett in 20th.
And the early retiree of Terry Marwood in 21st. So we will sit back and watch Chris celebrate once more with Craig Roffey and Shane Roffey. And then we'll be going to a ad break, but have a listen to that. There's a little bit more repair bills on those cars now, unfortunately. So some teams not going to be happy when they had some clean cars there. Big chuck in from Craig. Have a look at that. Trying to line up. I almost did it right. All right, and now we've got a engine rebuild for next week too. So just to chuck that in the mix as well. Teams are going to be busy next week. But, we'll go to an ad break and we will be back with your top 3.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, Our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, everything simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Alrighty, we are back and we have our podium up in the booth. So 75 laps done at the iRacing Superspeedway, and that was round 5. Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOval V8 Supercars series, broadcast on the Inside Lane Productions and Quasi Esports Network. We have our place getters tonight, but I think third is just on a leave break. But no, I think he's back now. So third place to Shane Roffey. How are you going, Shane?
Very good, thanks, fellas. Hey.
Well, that's one way to make your debut in the series once again. Coming away with the third place and a podium.
Yeah, it's a shame I can't do it every week. Starting at 1 o'clock in the morning doesn't really work, so I'm pretty happy with the performance tonight.
Yeah, well, can't complain with the third and a podium. You get to talk to us and chuck some skids at the end and celebrate.
Yeah, I sort of woke the kids up as I was screaming over the line, but hey, it's It's not very often I do it, so.
That's all right. They can go back to sleep. I'm sure. I'm sure that you won't give them nightmares at all. But no, third place tonight, and yeah, good finish there. Probably not the way anyone predicted that finish to go, but
No, when it was 4 wide in the last corner, I was like, "Oh, this is going to end in carnage." I was just sitting behind Craig and Chris, and then all of a sudden a gap opened up. I was like, "I'm going for it," and it worked.
well, the seas parted and you made your way through unscathed. But you had a little bit of pace tonight. I saw you sneaking up the front there, I think, and even Kim Roffey as well joining in tonight as well, and had a few laps led from Kim. Good to see.
Yeah, it was good. Like, me and Kim don't get to race much, but when we do, we like to get up there and mix it with the big boys, and we had a good time.
Can't have Craig winning it all for Roffey, so
I've got to say congratulations to Chris for 2 in a row. He's sort of jumped in our team now, so he's...
I was going to say, you're going to have to paint him up a skin that's
Nah, he's got his own team, right? But he joins our chat. We help each other out. We're working together.
Well, he robbed Craig tonight, but we won't go
Yeah,
there.
the boys will talk about that afterwards.
Yeah, Docker's pay.
Yeah.
Get him on the broom, sweeping up the garage later.
Yeah, that's it.
No, good to see you on track, and yeah, up in the booth with us for a quick chat. But hopefully, we'll see you in the coming weeks. We'll let you have a shout out to anyone you like at home. And sponsors.
Just MD Sports, Elite Computers in Queensland with Rick Vincent, and just you guys putting it on. I always half watching it in bed while I'm sleeping. You do a fantastic job. I just got to say thank you for that.
That's all right. I wouldn't listen to me going to sleep though. It might put you to sleep, but yeah, I wouldn't listen to me to go to sleep.
Awesome work. You guys do an awesome job.
Do what we can, try our best. So that's all good. But I'll pass you over to... Gonna have a massive mental blank here, but I'll pass you over to James for second place now, James.
Yes, sir. How you doing tonight, Craig?
Hey, fellas. Yeah, good to be back up in the booth after a couple of weeks of not so good finishes, but nah, it's good. It's good to be back.
So take us through what was going through your mind coming off of turn 4, heading to the checkered, and suddenly you go from like mired into the pack to, oh wow, I'm battling for the lead now.
Honestly, it was hold it flat and keep it straight, and hopefully the guy behind me kept it straight, and he did, and then he left me at the dry to take the win. But nah, yeah, welcome to the 2 in a row club, Chris. Well done. We're working together now, so yeah, it's good to see teamwork work together and pretty much take out the podium.
So when we got that caution with about 16 to go, were you happy to see that caution, knowing that you didn't have to worry about green flag pit stops, or were you kind of bummed about it?
Definitely bummed because we had a little bit of a gap between the. I think they just caught actually. Definitely bummed. Would have been good to see some green flag slash and goes. It is what it is, and got a P2 out of it.
So just take us through trying to go through this race, knowing how high you are in the points, and just trying to balance that out without focusing too much on points racing, but still trying to go for the win.
It was in front of Chris, but he got me. And the next stay around the guys that are in the in top 5 of the championship, so don't lose too many points. But at the same time, so it is hard. But at the same time, I don't let the points get to me too much because then it takes the fun out of it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. just stay in front of the others. Good.
All right, Craig, that was a fantastic run tonight. Any sponsors or well wishes you want to put out there?
Yeah, it don't sound like a broken record, but MD Sports, Elite PC Repairs, you guys in the booth for all your work, week in and week out. And my two number one supporters sitting in the bedroom watching right now. So yeah, cheers. Hopefully I'm back up here next week. Oh, and the road guys. We had 6 out there today, so which is good. They work night shifts, so they can't do it every week. We got a public holiday tomorrow, so that's why they were racing. But yeah, cheers.
All right, that's our second place finisher, Craig Roffey.
Alrighty, and the moment everyone at home's been waiting for, we go to our race winner. So Chris Bleakley taking the checkered flag. How you going, Chris?
Yeah, great. Thanks, yourself.
Yeah, not too bad. We can hear that celebratory laughter already. So talk us through that finish.
Well, back straight, I was sitting 14th, I think it was, in the middle of the 3 wide at the time, and I didn't really think much was going to happen. I seen Craig's bumper, and I thought, I'll get to Craig. I gave him a shot down the back straight, and I was just full prepared to push him all the way to the end. But then when we come out of 4 and all the inside cars suddenly disappeared on me, I thought, and I sort of had a glance in my mirror and thought, well, it's just me and Craig. And then, you had Shane coming, but I just thought, might as well have a crack at Craig here, just pull to the inside. And yeah, I honestly didn't think I had the momentum because I'd just given him a shot coming out of 4. So I thought, I didn't think I had the momentum, but got me there by, a bee's dick, if you excuse the French.
Well, looking at the time, it was 0.001, so pretty much a bee's dick. So I don't think there could be much more in it than that. I have seen the 0.000 before and still managed to come second, but I don't know how that works. Sometimes you get the right line and you the same over the line, but you still lose. So at least you got the win tonight.
It wasn't looking very good. Some of those early incidents affected me, so I was carrying damage for most of that. And then that last caution, I was able to repair the car 100%. So, yeah, I really didn't have anything in the car prior to that last caution. So if that didn't come out, I really wasn't going to go anywhere. So, yeah, that last caution sort of saved me. So, yeah, but being back in the pack, I still didn't think I was going to get through to where I got through to. So, felt a bit like Moses, to be honest. But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realise you had any damage. I thought you had a pretty clean race tonight, avoided most of the earlier incidents. That's a little bit surprising. The car looked good. So
the first caution we had, was it the first or second caution? I think it was. Where I just couldn't avoid. I think it might have been Shannon, and clipped him, and I had 4 minutes of damage. So I just repaired it when I could in the stops. Crew repairs a certain amount while you're fueling and all that. So as long as I was behind someone in the train, I still had speed. So I just had to stay behind someone and just ride for the whole race. And then every time there was a caution or we had a green flag stop, I just take a little bit more damage off. And then, finally towards the end, I had a car that was 100% again. So if I was still carrying that damage at the end and I pulled out alongside Craig, there was no way I was going to beat him. So saved by the yellow, I'll call it.
Well, a little bit of tortoise in the hair with the damage and coming through. So done the job anyway. That's 2 in a row now. So I think Craig Roffey had 2 in a row in the start of the season. So maybe you're the man to do 3 in a row. We'll have to see next week.
Maybe. I I only just bought next week's track, so I've only just bought this track too. I've never owned this track before, so I bought the next 2 weeks for this series, so it'll be interesting. I haven't raced at Kentucky yet, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, you don't need much practice at iRacing Superspeedway. You just put your foot on the floor and you go. So there's not much to it, but it'll be interesting to see next week. Kentucky, a little bit more to it. The track's got some similarities to other tracks, so I think you might be all right.
Yeah, I like the intermediate style tracks a bit better. So if it's anything like our Texases and the Vegas and stuff like that, I think I'll enjoy it. So, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'd probably put it down to maybe like the old Atlanta or Vegas or old Texas sort of things. It's not too bad of a track. It's pretty good. You like it. But anyways, we'll wrap up. We'll let you have a shout out to your sponsors and everyone at home.
Yeah, we'll just the rest of my team that doesn't really show up in these events because they're too busy, but they do help in the background during the week. The Rogue Boys, because we've sort of formed a mutual partnership, Team Chevy, you could call it. We're all running Chevs, so we've got to beat those Mustangs. So we all formed a Team Chevy tonight. Wouldn't have got there without them. And yeah, just you guys in the booth, Steve, putting on a great series.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Chris, and we'll see you next week on track. But, that's our podium. So, Chris Bleakley, your race winner for round 5 at iRacing Superspeedway with Craig Roffey and Shane Roffey, 2nd and 3rd. But that's us done for another week. So, thanking everyone tuning in at home for round 5 for the iRacing Superspeedway. Our sponsors, Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated, and Inside Lane Productions, Quasi Esports, Kobe Jordan behind the scenes on the camera, working overtime tonight. We had a few little difficulties, but we got there. We got the broadcast back, so everyone at home could keep viewing. And James Watson in the booth with myself, Paul Jackson. So we look forward to seeing you guys next week on track and everyone at home tuning in. But that is round 5 done and dusted. Round 6, we go to Kentucky Speedway, as mentioned. And we'll look for Chris Bleakley, see if he can make it 3 in a row on a track he hasn't owned or raced at yet. So we'll be watching out for that one next week. Anyways, that's us done, and we will see you back here next Sunday. But from us, we wish you all good night.